Howdy, y'all. Welcome to episode 41 of Unfinished Business. I am Taylor, joined as always by Matt, Tyler, and Corey, and I guarantee you it is a huge shock what we're going to talk about tonight. We're going to talk about the Disc Golf World Championship. Happened this past weekend. Incredible. I know, shocking to everybody, but I'm going to throw everybody off with 2 minutes or less. Everybody go around the horn. Tell me just how you're doing. What you been up to lately? It's been a while.
I'm good. I played disc golf Friday and Sunday, and first time I've gotten out to play disc golf in a while. So we had like beautiful weather. It was perfect. It was great. I threw the disc really well, and no surprise, I've already changed my putters, and I've got Lunas back in the bag. Actually,
let's go.
What plastic Lunas are you putting with, Tyler?
Rubber blend.
Rubber blend. Okay, cool. Same deal. Good new job. So a little less disc golf than I'm used to.
All right, Corey, what are you doing?
Real good.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
Matt's a big boy. He's got a job now.
Matt, did you get new putters yet or no?
No, but I actually do need to get new putters. I think I just need brand new pures. It's like they just don't fade at like 60 footers, and I'm always aiming the right side and like expecting them to fade in. So, that's bad. But hey, Corey gave me some forehand tips like 2 weeks ago, and then Overthrow did a video on forehand, and my forehand went from really bad to just as far, if not farther than my backhand. So I don't know how that happened, but
I don't even remember giving you tips, so that's good.
Yeah, you gave me like 2 or 3 things. We talked about it over text. So,
oh, that's crazy.
Corey just so famous, man. Doesn't even.
I played Sunday, two different courses because we got 2 9-holes that are like a mile apart from each other. So that was fun. I got to hang out with some boys that I don't often get to play with because it's strictly Sundays for them.
The boys.
And I didn't watch Worlds, so
let's go.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went home and visited some family this past weekend, so I did not play any disc golf, but I did play golf. First time
I saw that.
To the day. That was fun.
Did you enjoy it?
Yeah, I had a great time.
That's cool.
I suck, but I had a great time. Also, even just the difference in humidity, almost Florida to Tennessee was like so much cool.
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah, I can't imagine. Florida's got to be the worst place ever.
Yeah. Sounds terrible.
Random tidbit, Tyler. My drives are still so far.
You're piping it, huh?
And I don't know what's going on, but it's awesome. The rest of my game, not even. Nope.
Dude, all that matters. Chicks dig the long ball, man. That's all I got to remember.
Dudes love the long ball.
That's what I'm saying.
That is true.
all my buddies are like, "Can you hit a driver again?" I'm like, "Yeah."
You know what? All right. Side note, and then let's get rolling. Koreans love watching you hit a long ball for some reason. I don't know why.
It's because of Taiga. He's from Japan. He's for the people.
I'm not even being like
make it nasty.
Like, I'm not even like saying anything that's like rude. I'm being honest. Like we have a ton of Koreans that play golf out here, and they're the only people where like if I hit the ball over the net at the range, they'll be like, "Oh, hit it again," and I'll hit like they're like, "Oh, do it again, do it again." It's like how many times you want to watch me to do this? But they love it, dude.
If they can't, then they want to see someone do it.
I love that.
Yeah.
Nice shot. Good shot.
Hey, tell me about that Worlds that went down this weekend, Taylor.
Yeah, so we're gonna do something a little bit different. We're try out some new stuff. So me and Tyler put together a list of the top 8 storylines in our opinion, FPO and MPO. I subjectively seeded those, and we've got a little bit of a bracket pulled up. So if you guys either want to pull up the stream or the links that I sent, we've got a bracket, again, with these top 8 storylines seeded. We're going to start out in FPO, and we'll just start in round 1 here. The number 1 seed versus the number 8 seed. Evelina winning the World Championship, taking it down in FPO with 59% Circle 1X putting and 0% Circle 2 putting versus... Just the storyline in general, I feel like with the past couple of years of European FPO just dominant. Kristen and Evelina have won almost all the majors in the past couple of years. Doesn't seem like there's much of a fight put up from any American company. So that is what we have for our first matchup. Who's got thoughts and opinions?
Quick thing. Man, I don't even remember now. But the second thing is, yeah, the European dominance is a real thing. Like, I don't know if an American's ever going to win again. Holland Hanley, it feels like, is our only hope. But she's kind of like when the Cowboys get into the playoffs, they choke. So she cannot handle the last day. Oh, that's what I was going to say. Crazy thing about Evelina is that yes, she did put 60% in circle one, but she decided to throw at the koozie on 18, and it almost caught edge
Terrifying.
and rolled down the hill. All she really legitimately had to do was throw it 5 feet left or right of the basket, and that would have been fine. But instead, she throws it at the basket, hits the koozie, and you can see the fear on her face. Like, oh my gosh, is that going to stand up? And then we would have had ourselves a real match. That would have been a real storyline.
Yeah, I remember seeing that.
Corey, it was wild.
It's a bad clip, Corey. It really does make you like. It's just the most. It's the most expression you'll ever see on a pro's face.
Yeah,
where that's the biggest fear on every am's mind.
Yeah.
As far as this goes, me and Tyler were talking about this earlier in the Discord. Because Brody really dislikes that Evelina won with a 59%. I think you can't really be mad at Evelina for being unable to putt when she's so good at driving. But you can be mad at the rest of the field that someone who is so bad at putting can still win your division because they're so good.
Yeah.
But I think we have to, we can't not give Evelina props because she did take a W and she played so well her throwing that she didn't have to worry about that putting stuff. So that's my opinion.
I mean, absolutely insane is driving by Evelina. I think it was 41 strokes gain T degree for the event, which is insane. My issue, and it's not really an issue, and I don't want it to seem like I'm taking anything away from Evelina because Matt, your point is I 100% agree with. If we want to be mad at someone for winning because they can't putt, it is the field's fault for not, making someone that can't make a 15-footer not be the leader much hard. The tough part for me is just the optics of again, I was home with family this weekend, turned on just on the TV because it was going on. So my mom, my brother, everybody's kind of in the room just talking as it's on. And then you look up every now and then and Evelina's literally missing the basket by 10 feet on a putt that's 15 feet away. And it's everyone in that room was watching. I could genuinely, I've never played disc golf, and that's the tough part. Obviously, world's pressure is different. The pressure of the moment is way different. But Evelina's been doing that. So I think the worst part is the optics of it. But again, we have an issue with it. The issue's with the field. I don't know how
she's like one. I don't know how to say this. One, unfocused
down.
No, she should have all the majors right now. If we don't remember, she was 7 strokes up, I think is what it was, or 9 strokes up, or whatever at
a big
European Open. So I mean, she should have all the majors, that would be a crazy storyline if year one we got Kristen and then Evelina does it. It could happen. So anyways. Go ahead,
I will say there's something very kind of badass about someone who can't putt.
Yeah.
And is
100%
winning.
Agree.
And it's all you have to do is be able to putt better than me and you can take this, but no one could take it from her.
Yeah. I think eventually too, that just makes it has to take pressure off Evelina. You literally cannot make a putt inside still winning. That has to mentally at some point be click for her and be okay, I'm not even worried. What's going to happen if I miss this putt? I miss him.
I mean, imagine somebody was hitting the golf ball in the PGA Tour so well too they were hitting it to 5 feet every single time, and if they hit it outside 5 feet, they were never making the putt. That's the equivalency of what happened pretty much. So, all right.
Yeah.
Are we voting?
That's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah, I was just say real quick too. I don't know how sold I am as far as the European FPO dominance goes. Obviously the past couple of years has trended that way, but I think we're quick as disc golfers to have a lot of bias, and obviously Holland just needs to learn to fall apart final round. I do think they're good. There's talent in America. With that said, I'll go ahead and cast my vote that Evelina.
I will agree. Evelina is the bigger storyline of these two.
I'm also
Corey?
voting that, but I definitely read that as evil wins.
Maybe
Um,
it does.
Like,
Maybe
wow,
it
that was an
does.
evil win with 59%.
Maybe I should have went first because I actually think European FPO dominance is a bigger deal. I mean, they have the last 8 majors or 7. They have the last 7 majors. So
So they have half of Page's major altogether.
well, European dominance in the last 2 years over all the majors. I mean, that's pretty impressive. I mean,
It just says European FPO dominance.
yeah,
It doesn't say the last. I'm just saying
that what?
that's literally what Taylor said. Recency bias. Like
Also
Page
said
has Page
Yeah,
has
that's
twice as
true.
many as
I'm saying like there is a European the European dominance right now is a bigger deal than Evelina winning because of Evelina is part of the European dominance. Because first it was Kristen, now it's Evelina. So
okay.
that
It's
I
your
mean, that-
vote. It's your vote. It's
I
cool.
know, it is. Gosh dang it, this is America.
It's
Yeah,
true.
well.
He has his right to vote.
Apparently not. It's
Hey,
European.
all of a sudden, I was gonna say, all of a sudden, his hate on European makes sense when he makes that comment.
I know. Gosh darn it, this is America. Why are they all winning?
All right, we'll move down to the next matchup. This I put very eloquently. Yes, Missy did just. I think that was the 7 of the last 8 is going to
Yeah.
Missy. I put this very eloquently as a stinker from KT. Kristen Tatar did not play well at all. And still I think ended up in 3rd. So maybe something about that. But that's going up against. We'll talk more about specifically Ivy Hill course design. That'll come up in both FPO and MPO. But just in general, should FPO course design be a little more lax for current state of division? It seemed like there was. It's hard to watch because it's not good golf. I'll say it that much. Like I don't watch a ton of FPO, and the FPO I did watch of World, it's hard to watch everyone going out of bounds all the time, missing putts. Like it's exciting for the wrong reason in my mind. But again, I'll leave that up to you guys. Who got thoughts and opinions?
Yeah, just one comment about the course design. For me, I kind of just want to see Worlds be a little bit so like anybody could win it. I know distance is a skill, but if you shorten a hole, that might mean that person's throwing a driver and Holland's throwing either a putter in a mid range, which still gives her the advantage, in my opinion. So I think distance could help with the FPO at Worlds. I want to see some higher scores from FPO. Like I want to see like, hey, if you can execute the shot, not hey, if you on a whim and a prayer make this shot because of the difficulty, then you might get rewarded. So that was my suggestion on that, and that's my 2 cents.
Okay, so my question is, what would you consider the average MPO score for a tournament, like for one round?
The average,
Yeah.
we could say 4 or 5 down.
Okay, so 5 down. How often is FPO doing that?
I don't know. To be honest.
Exactly. We need courses that actually give them
Yeah.
a run at being like on average the entire field is below par.
And I'm with you on that.
So my vote is for course design. I don't really care that Kristen had a stinker. I mean, it's the same. I mean, look at Paul Macbeth. Everyone's like, "Oh my god, yeah," but he's about to like people are gonna act the way they want to.
That was blown out of proportion, but that we'll wait till we get the MPO. We got.
What do you mean?
I'm just saying when we get the MPO, I think that might be one of the things we talk about as well.
No. I'm saying like in general, like yes, Kristen had like a bad
Oh, I know what you're saying. Okay.
Worlds, but
Yeah.
like so does Paul, and everyone's still like, oh, dude, Paul's not dead. He's gonna come back. It's like,
Yeah.
okay, well, Kristen could literally show up next week and play D-Glow out of her mind. It doesn't mean that we're like she just had a bad round.
I know
Or
a lot
bad-
of people
bad group of rounds.
made her like the odds on like way favorite to win Worlds, and deep down inside I didn't feel that way before Worlds happened. Now hindsight is 2020 now that it's over and she didn't win it, but I really didn't feel like she was like really the favorite because she just got married and that's a big deal. And you put all your time and energy into that because that is like a once in a lifetime thing. You'll play in other worlds.
Twice if you're
So-
lucky. That's what they say.
Dang.
So
I don't know if that's true or not, but yeah, we'll go with that.
Yeah.
And so anyways, yeah, I'm gonna go with Corey. I think the bigger deal here for me is course design. We need to talk about what is the best for FPO.
I'll design it. I'll do it all.
Yeah,
on.
I think it's less for me. I think the surprise for me for Kristen is more that it's Worlds and that she was the far and away favorite, I think. But also, I mean, you're right, Corey, that she can go next or in the next week and like absolutely dominate the Glow, but that in comparison to what she would want to perform at Worlds is way different. The importance that Worlds has. So I think it was more surprising that one, it wasn't like one specific thing. Like she was throwing OB, she was missing putts, like her entire game was off this week, which was surprising. But also that she never really rallied back. I mean, we've seen her have terrible rounds before, and she's kind of always in that sense. Like she will always be in at a tournament. So it was just surprising to never see that. It was surprising to never see her bounce back at all, which honestly may play in more to the course design. Courses. That said, if you watch the final, nobody really wanted to win. But for
Nobody.
me,
What did she end up placing?
Third.
she's placed third.
Oh wow. Okay, yeah, she's washed.
yeah, she's terrible.
I don't think anyone's saying she's washed, but like she shot one over round one, was 11 strokes back, and to me, like that's why I put it on our Instagram. I was like, is she done? Or
I understand that, but what did you shoot at New London? Just
Uh,
curious.
listen,
also not
we
the
didn't-
best
no
female
practice
professional
round.
disc golf player in the world.
Yeah, but that course is really hard. Like,
But Holland shot
Holland
10
shot-
under,
Yeah, what?
and
Yeah,
Kristen
I
is the
think when
number
you
one
see
player with
the-
the world and the number one rated player in the world. So
yeah.
Yeah.
no one
I think-
expected one over. Everyone expected at least something within 4 or 5 under.
Yeah.
But was she practicing or was she at her wedding?
That's what I'm
That's
saying.
what we're
Like,
saying.
she got there late,
I-
and that's what happened. Like she was. I
Yeah.
said she was more focused on that, in my opinion. She knows there's going to be plenty of worlds in the future, so I don't think her mind was totally there. And to be honest with you, if you see her post, like today or whatever, she's already moved on to like advertising like her new partnership that she has in Estonia. So you
Yeah.
know. Anyways,
She's-
we got
she's
a long
really
ways to
crazy
go,
about
so we
Boston.
might want to.
Yeah, we can pick it up. I'm gonna also say the FPO course design. I think Kristen's fine.
Corey Swadham. Wow.
Well, I'm not going to tell you my vote then because it doesn't matter.
I think you just like using the word stinker.
I do it.
That's a good word, man.
All right, moving on. We got more course design talk here. We've got the course design of Ivy Hill. This is our 2 seed. This has been the theme of Worlds, in my opinion. Outside of the competition, everyone is talking about Hill. And also, right now, I think just the storyline of FPO seems more for the taking right now than ever before. Like, again, it's been a very Kristen dominant era, but we've got people popping up. Holland looks great until the final round consistently. Evelina has won, should have won all of the majors this year. So it's getting more competitive in FPO. So I think more just parity in FPO. 7 seed storyline.
Right. Cat Merch has gotten in the top 3 the last 3 worlds too.
Yeah, no shit.
Crazy. Yeah.
I was gonna say Cat Merch is probably the most dangerous, but it's more or less because she's dating Nico, and that's kind of scary.
Shout out to
Well,
yeah, absolutely.
Well, she had every opportunity to kind of go out and push Evelina as well, but then she decided to stop playing disc golf the last 4 holes.
Yeah.
She bogeyed, I think, out to end it. And then, I don't know. Her emotions are really weird the entire tournament. Very nonchalant. I mean, she was saying on the 18th hole of round 2, like, all I can think about is food right now. It's like, you finish your round first.
It's because she has like an old lady haircut now, so she
Yeah.
doesn't know what to do.
Yeah.
So, I don't really have any other comments to make. I think my vote is going to be Ivy Hill course design, but I do think it's intriguing to think about who is the most dangerous FPO player at this moment, because there's a lot going on with a lot of different players right now.
I mean, I'll just lay my opinion out there. There's two men in this country that I believe power. I won't tell you the first one, but the second one's Nate Heinold. I think that if you're talking about who fundraises for a tournament, who TDs, who turns an insurance company into a profitable disc golf business the best, sure, put Nate Heinold up there. He is not a great course. Ivy Hill is a beautiful property. I ran into multiple times watching Worlds, pan to a shot that's going to a fairway, has stakes all over it. I have no idea until the commentators tell me if that's OB or it's not OB. I don't know which side of the stakes. This has been a problem.
That's why we need those advertisement banners.
Why we need mo. But no,
or
that's
different color stakes.
Stones. Yeah, so I don't understand the credibility that Nate Heinold has to be designing championship course over some of the other incredible courses. So the Ivy Hill course design in general is a
quick thing. Do you think Nate Heinold rivals UC, and so he's always thinking, I got to design a better course than UC?
Maybe so. Maybe that's just the internal rivalry.
Or has Nate said like multiple times that he doesn't think he's that good of a course designer?
I don't know.
Like,
I mean, he said he got a lot of feedback from Paul. Like, he threw Paul underneath the bus in his interview before.
Oh yeah.
But
Disc Golf World did a video about this week and said they're like, hey, here's three times that Nate Heinold had said, hey, I'm not that good of a course designer. But yeah, I would absolutely say the bigger thing here is course design. Having like how long they've had this course open and having events on it. They've had like 2 or 3 different events on this thing where you can look and say like, oh, that's not a good look. Like, we'll talk about an MPO, but like hole 14 is not a good look. We should change that. Like, it wasn't like they threw it together in like 3 weeks. It's been there for like over a year. Yeah. So it's kind of weird that there wasn't some more details on that kind of stuff. So.
I didn't hear too many FPO players complaining about the course in general. It was just a select couple holes. And it's a darn shame that hole 17, we saw everybody lay up until the last day.
Yeah. You also got to think, like, if he did take advice from Paul, have you ever had a boss ask you to critique them? Because if I was in Paul's shoes, I'd be like, yeah, dude, it looks great.
It's so sick, maybe sickest course.
Yeah, maybe change that a little bit, but no, you're on the right track because you don't want to get screamed at. So
yeah. But I mean, that's what I'm kind of alluding to was like he threw Paul underneath the bus. He was like, yeah, we consulted with Paul and some other players. And so like he was quick to throw that out there.
Yeah, definitely.
I think he was trying to get validation by saying that. So
yeah.
All right, Matt and Taylor, what did you vote for?
I voted for Ivy Hill, yeah.
Yep. Put it in there.
I don't really care for either topic, honestly, but I'll go course design.
Corey says they're both bad.
Interesting.
Honestly, I don't like. Okay, hole 14, it's crazy steep. There's a crazy roll away. I don't care. You're professional.
I will say, like, I was gonna wait till we got the MPO to, I'll just wait till we get the MPO. Yes,
there it is,
and then I'll come back to it.
All right, final matchup here in the first round. We got the 3 and the 6. Again, I alluded to it earlier. Another final round choke from Holland. They have put this stat up in like every final round on the broadcast, like how far under her rating her final rounds typically rate. I think it's like 30 points or something ridiculous.
Pretty bad.
Is bad. She just cannot keep it together for a final round. Versus will Paige ever? I should have put ever. Become a 6-time world champion.
I'm gonna give my quick and easy answer is Holland choking.
Holland choking. I absolutely agree with that.
Yep, me too. And it's mainly because I'm already past the whole Paige being amazing. Like she's
Corey's
just
already forgotten Paige as a player.
In my exact words, I think I put Paige Dunzo forever. Something like that.
I wouldn't say forever.
I
She'll
think
win.
Paige is coming back and win another major at some point, but I don't think she'll.
I don't
be as
think it'll be a
dominant
6-time.
ever.
No.
I'm saying that's not the storyline. It's not
But
like
no,
everyone's
yeah,
like, oh my
the
God,
much
where's
bigger
Paige?
storyline I'll agree is, I mean, it was Holland's tournament to lose and she lost it.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
she does that quite often. So that is definitely the biggest storyline in my opinion. So we'll go back up to the semifinals. A little upset 4 and 5 here, but we've got Evelina winning with the putting percentage that she had versus the training storyline of should FPO course design be easier.
Matt, you should go first.
Yeah, Matt.
I think the greater discussion is should FBO course design be easier in my head. I think we saw that because the current course in Evelina's case is she was so good that she was out throwing the course that existed and not a lot of other people could do that. So that's my vote.
I think these correlate like 1-to-1 with each other.
Yeah, I
Like
think they're really
Evelina
closely related.
Evelina won without putting, which is why the FPO course design needs to be easier. So I'm going to go with course design.
I'm gonna go with Evelina. I think that's a bigger topic of discussion. Is she still stinks at putting, but because she threw the disc so well, she won worlds. I think that's crazy to think about.
Yeah, I'm also going to
Is
go
it-
with Evelina myself, mainly because of what it says
Scott's
about
a
the division.
tiebreaker.
Yeah, so really less about even Evelina in that performance. One, because it's just so wild optically to watch her putting that event and say like this is the world champion based on that, and then two, just what
Yeah.
that says about the division is insane. So yeah, we got a tie. And we did say earlier we were joking about this that chat would get a vote. So
Is Scott still in there?
Scott, if Scott's still here, we'll give him a minute. He is the tiebreaker. Otherwise, we can you can just fight it out and try to change Matt's mind because I know we're not going to change Corey's mind.
Well, let's go to the other topic and see if Scott says something, and then if not, we'll hop back
perfect. Perfect.
Makes
All right, we'll
perfect
go
sense.
down to another course design one, but Ivy Hill course design overall versus the final round choke from Holland.
over. Matt, go first.
Oh, he went with course design.
Oh,
the
course
upset.
design.
The upset.
Wow. Are we gonna have two course designs? I hope not.
I'm going to say another final round choke from Holland. She is so good at throwing the disc and seems consistent in all these things, and then just acts like she throws up everything she ate for the last 2 weeks on hole one's tee pad, and then makes like the decisions that are just terrible.
Well, it's funny that some people have been talking about like her putting and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, she fixed that like months ago. Like that's not been an issue since like the second month of disc golf, which would have been like end of March, beginning of April. Her biggest issue, if you really watch her, and same thing last year, is her forehand upshot. Like she'll leak it right, and she'll like she doesn't commit to it, and that's her problem. And she did 2 OBs. I think a couple times she did that. 27 OBs the entire tournament, and whatever it was, 12 OBs the last round. Absolutely, it's got to be the biggest storyline is Holland choking on the last round. It looks like she was in pretty good control of what she was doing until the last day.
Yeah, I gotta agree. Again, exactly what you just said, Tyler. I was gonna bring up. I don't remember what hole it was on, but it was early in the round. Holland had like a routine 100-foot forehand upshot.
So bad.
Had so much room to the left, like just had to get around a tree and threw it like 40 feet early, like 60 feet in the air, just straight into a tree, and it rolled back. I mean, the net distance she got was probably 20 feet on the shot because it hit the tree and like rolled back towards her. It was just like, what are we doing here? So yeah, I again, because Holland has so much promise and she has so much talent and can be that rival to the European FBO players, I also got to vote for Holland.
I want to say a quick comment though. I think that's what made Paige Pierce so great for a long time is that like she knew she could only do this shot and that's what she was really good at, and so she would choose that every single time in these world events. I think Holland has too many shots to choose from, and so she's like the shot
Decision
calls
fatigue almost.
for me. Yeah, the shot calls for me to do this. I should do that. when really she needs to find something in her game that like upshot wise where like she knows she can. Jeez, I do that every time. Where she knows she can throw the good upshot. Like for me, like if there's an availability to throw a forehand upshot, even if I gotta like chop one over to get it around something instead of throwing a backhand, I'm gonna do that because that's what's more comfortable to me. So she's got to find like these shots that are staples for her.
I think it's safe to say I would also go with the little forehand upshot.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, it's a star frame for the Holland pick. I think she's too much of an athlete. It sounds weird.
Yeah.
But compared to a lot of people who they find their like niche in disc golf and they stick to it, Isaac has the forehand turnover. Like he's very touchy with the forehand. Marweed is all not forehand, backhand. Marweed is all forehand. Like that's exclusively what he's good at. I think she thinks like, oh, I need to be good at everything. So she's doing the jack of all trades thing, but none of them are actually like to the percentage of you can trust every single one of these.
Yeah. Yeah, definitely. And that's why I was kind of alluding to in our group chat about like, you know, her caddy's her boyfriend. Like, does she legit need a new caddy or does she need to start seeing a sports psychologist? Which I actually think she does see one. I think I heard her say that months ago, but something's got to get worked out, man. Because she's too good to do something like that again. So, all right, who we got in the finals, Taylor?
Finals, we got FPO course design as a whole. Should it be easier? And then what we just been talking about, another final round choke from Holland. I can go ahead and I'll go right into it. In my opinion, Holland is the bigger storyline. Just because FPO course design has been and will always be a topic that's kind of talked about and needs work. Like we know this is an area we need to improve in, but just week in and week out, I feel like we see Holland as just this shining star of like this is talent in FPO, like what FPO could be, and she just is that one final round away, and it's just you can tell it's a mental block, and just that her figuring that out or not is going to define the next few years of FPO to me. So like that is a huge storyline.
Nailed it. I'm going Holland choking as well. Absolutely the biggest storyline to come out of FPO.
I think I'll agree.
It already won, so I'm going with course design.
Love it.
Hooray.
Yay. 3-1. No, not a whitewash.
All right, so there is the FPO storylines. If you are not a live viewer, you should be a live viewer. But if not, let us know down below if you agree what you would have voted for, and we will move on to MPO. It's funny how this seeding worked out. So we've got some matchups centered around Isaac for the number one spot. I feel like number one was an easy call. Isaac being a back-to-back world champion, joining a very short list of folks to do that. Two is the future of Prodigy. How Isaac has a lot of control now, whether he stays or comes back to Prodigy in a contract year of the optics of that company moving forward. The second matchup is a couple of guys that really need a major. One is Rick, who has not won in 7 years. Again, lost another chance here. And then Calvin, who has not won a major. Best player in the world in MPO to have never won a major and continues to be so. Again, we've got Ivy Hill course design taking on surprises near the top. So I feel like there were some surprising players that made their way to the top of the leaderboard at Worlds, and notably, Sullivan Tipton, Luke Taylor, Nicholas Antela, Eagle was up there. A lot of guys that really, I don't think got a lot of props or press moving into the tournament, but really had a good performance. And then number 4, again, we got a stinker from Gannon. Again, a stinker for Gannon is what, like 7th place, I think he ended up in, but just did not have the Worlds I think he was hoping for. And then will Paul win this season at all? Again, Paul was very hyped coming into this event, designed New London. That was very hyped up and in my opinion overblown, but we'll get into that. Just the topic of, can he extend his streak of winning an Elite Series or Major for however many years he's done it? So back to the top, we're going to talk about Isaac for a little bit in this matchup of Isaac being the back-to-back world champion or the future of Prodigy Discs.
I did not see Isaac going back-to-back. I know they alluded to it on Tour Life last week before the tournament that Gannon said that Isaac was going to win. I don't understand how he's back-to-back world champion. It doesn't make any sense to me. Honestly, I'm not good for him. Congratulations, but it doesn't feel like he's worthy of it, but he is. Like, that's just how it is.
Brooks Koepka.
Yeah, I know. Good point. Good point.
There are certain people that only want the big one, the big fish.
Yeah. And then also the future prodigy, I think that's actually like a huge storyline. So I think they got robbed being put against back-to-back with Isaac, but I do understand why it's at the 8th seed. So those are my comments about those two things.
I think I'm gonna agree with Tyler here. I think the Isaac back-to-back, I like the comment I saw that everyone was reposting of me watching Isaac at every event asking, how is this guy our world champion? Me watching Isaac at Worlds asking, how is this guy not winning every event around? Maybe Isaac doesn't care otherwise or something like that, but
mental capacity.
Maybe who knows? More importantly in my head is, the future prodigy. Ezra's had a really good year. I don't know how long Ezra's contract's for. And Isaac has had he's now a 2-time world champion in a contract year. I think Prodigy is going to have to decide, what all are they shelling out to try and keep one or both of the brothers. And it's going to be a tough one to do.
I ain't got nothing, man.
Yeah, shout out that Facebook comment, Matt. Shout out to Dixon Jowers and On the Box with Dixon Jowers. Bring that podcast back. But yeah, I did not at all see Isaac going back to back here. I think it makes sense when you think of it at the courses, but just incredible performance by him. And yeah, just the guy shows up at the right times. Yeah, again, I think it is kind of criminal how the low seed for the future of Prodigy. If you haven't seen, Kale LaVisca actually put out kind of a novel today on, being annoyed that all the press was around, Prodigy's discs are just bad quality and yada, yada, yada. And yet they're basically producing major champions and winners that Prodigy as a smaller company in the space just can't afford to keep. It didn't make me feel great about Isaac staying with Prodigy, basically how he worded a lot of that post, but it definitely was kind of an interesting side to see. So yeah, between those two, I think Isaac is the bigger storyline. I mean, he's joining a list of Paul, Ricky, Barry Schultz, and Ken Climo as back-to-back world champions.
Crazy,
and that is
man.
a very good list to be a part of. So, I mean, just absolute GOAT Hall of Fame contenders, and he's adding his name to that list, which is incredible. So huge storyline there.
I'm gonna go. I'm gonna go
Minecraft
future.
Villager
Of,
type one.
I'm gonna go future of Prodigy, but
Is it because of the F9?
yes. But also because, is it just me or is Worlds not as it doesn't seem as important as it should be for the amount of rep that it gets? Like, oh my God, you're a world champion. You're this, I just feel like it's not as hyped up as it should be.
Yeah, I feel like
it's just another tournament.
The trend of everyone getting a signature disc for everything now, I think, has ruined that a little bit. Or I was reading a post around oh, I wonder what disc Innova is gonna I wonder what Evelina's gonna use as her world's stock stamp disc now. I was I kind of forgot they did that because they put someone's name on a disc for everything. But I mean, at least I think that's a big part of the legacy, and that used to be, and I mean still is a huge deal to for Evelina to claim an Innova mold that her name will now be a part of the stamp forever. Is really cool. But I think that has kind of cheapened it in my mind. But yeah, it is interesting how I think Worlds is still incredibly important, but less important now than it's
important, but it doesn't come off as this crazy
the Super Bowl
tournament
kind of thing. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. It's not the thing that everyone's just clawing at, be oh my God, Worlds is around the corner. We need to get there. We need to do this. Just felt like another tournament for me. So I'm going to say future Prodigy.
Quick comment on that though. In the last, we'll say since 21, what Worlds has been the most exciting for you? Where you were I have to watch this.
I couldn't even name where they were. So
sick.
Just saying.
I'm biased because I'm going to say Emporia Worlds that Paul won because Paul won.
I'm biased because I'm going to say this because I've seen and played New London, and I think that gives me like a more interest in how pros are doing it. So
That's so funny. Because I would say the Holy Shot Worlds for me.
What year was that?
21.
21.
Okay,
that
cool. I know it happened. I've seen it 100 million times.
It's probably because that was my first. Pop my cherry. So
I also couldn't tell you where it was.
Utah.
Bro, put some respect on the fort.
Unbelievable, dude.
Big
Hey, let's
storylines at that
Let's
world.
quickly
Brody
move on.
Smith.
I'm getting sad from this already.
All right.
Corey's like, I don't care about Worlds. I don't care about Pro Disc Golf.
No, I
about-
care
Doesn't
about
care,
Worlds.
bro.
I
No.
want it to be. I want it to be bigger.
Yeah.
I want it to be more important.
We got to go to a big city, man.
It feels like there's no gravity to Worlds. It's just a 5-day tournament, and then other tournaments I'm just as excited for.
I'm voting for Isaac
I
back to
agree.
back.
I agree, Corey. I agree. Next up, we're going to talk about a couple of guys that didn't win. Some notable names. So I guess this kind of boils down to who is it a bigger deal that they did not win this tournament? Rick going on 7 years of not winning a major, but still being a very consistent, performer in the sport, or Calvin, who has never won a major, still
Ding, ding,
looking for his
ding.
first, and will continue to be consistent and good, but not a major winner.
I'm really tired of everyone saying that it is without a doubt Calvin will win a major when it's all said and done. We keep saying that year after year after year after year. I will go on a limb and say I honestly don't know if Calvin will. I don't know. Like I've said it on the show before, Clutch Gene, but I don't think he plays good enough golf when it matters to avoid trouble. And then if it's not that, it's the putter. And that's what we've historically have seen. It's really sad. I don't want that to happen to Calvin, but like I have no faith in Calvin winning a major. So for me, I think about also Rick. Rick was playing really well going into Worlds. I thought for sure Rick was going to be there. So for me, it's probably going to be majorless Calvin.
I think I agree. I think majorless Calvin, in my head, he's been so good for so long, but no major just is interesting dynamic. So I'm going majorless Calvin.
The Ricky thing cannot go unnoticed though, because that is big too.
I would say I'm gonna vote Rick. Less specifically
fair.
about Rick, more so. I think we're with this transition point, right? It's been the conversation over the past couple of years of like the Rick and Paul era versus the Gannon, the parody era, the new guys. I think if Rick wins another major, it kind of like holds on to the Rick and Paul era for a little bit. Like he's kind of telling like, hey, the young kids, I'm still here, bro. I'm still him. I can still win. And I think that does a lot for kind of even the surrounding kind of older generation of the sport to have that to lean on. Ricky's obviously younger in that group, but is a guy that has been around, playing disc golf at Worlds for, a decade plus, which I think does a lot just for the older generation of disc golf. And because of that, and just because Calvin's newer, obviously, consistent, and it is a huge storyline that he hasn't won, but it's almost like with each major, it just gets harder and harder for Rick to overcome. As much as he wants to say he's the consistency guy, he doesn't care about just the big ones. You can tell, like you could tell at European Open, you could tell at Worlds, like this is weighing on him dramatically. And I think that's a huge piece.
Yeah. I don't think it's fair that you put these two storylines up against one another, Taylor.
The tournament's got to be hard for somebody.
Bummer.
I'm going Calvin because when you look at Ricky's career, he's won majors. When you look at Calvin's career,
Been a while.
and you say he's never won a major before, you go, oh my God, what?
Yeah.
Which is like crazier than we can see like the fire in Rick's eye. Like, especially when it gets hot, he goes for it. So I have no doubt that he's going to win another major probably very soon. I don't know about Calvin.
Yeah, that's the same way I feel. But
Yeah,
I think
I will agree
bigger
with that piece
storyline
too.
is
Like,
Calvin.
I don't
Yeah.
I don't know if it's as a shoe-in as a lot of people make it out to be that Calvin is
The
going to
one
win a
thing I
major.
will say for Calvin is I want to know there are certain tournaments that he just like sweeps at. If there was a major at that place, is he gonna suck that bad, or is he actually gonna like take it? Like I want to see if Worlds comes to like, where does he usually win?
Jonesboro.
Yeah, if there was a Worlds at Jonesboro, is he gonna take it like the way he takes Jonesboro, or is it just gonna be like?
Honestly, Champions Cup at OTB is like Calvin's best chance at a major.
Yeah,
because he does really well there, and it's gonna be
we'll have to wait
it's
till tomorrow.
The Woods major at OTB.
Yeah.
All right, but that is Calvin. We'll move on. All right, we were back to Ivy Hill course design as the number 2. Again, just a predominant storyline all week, or surprises near the top. So I'm thinking like Sullivan Tipton was relevant all week. Luke Taylor was relevant all week. Eagle was pushing at the top. Just people that I did not expect, and I think a lot of people did not expect to have their names up there. Criminal that I have not said Joey Buckets since he just imploded in the final round, but he was like one of the major players the entire week. So throw him up there as well. Tyler called it on picks too. I was gonna say we didn't even talk about.
As I said, we haven't even talked about picks, but that's all right. We can talk about that. You know, we have to make picks, by the way, tonight for D-Glow, right?
No, we have a week.
Oh, is that next week?
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's good.
So we can update the points and everything next week.
Yeah, let's do that.
But I mean, for me, it's like Eagle, and Eagle put a post out talking about how he had seen a lot of things that people had said. It put doubt in his head. And, you know, I'm going to say this. I hate to say it, but I'm going to say it anyways. Disc golfers are soft, dude. And if, like, you're seeing stuff on social media and it's legitimately, like, making you a bad player, then you're just not worthy of winning and being a champion. That's all I'm going to say. Like, that stuff should be behind you at this point, especially when he's won a European Open once or twice. So, I guess it's twice now. But anyways, Eagle at the top. I think it's really great for disc golf, man. I think it's awesome. Luke Taylor is a monster thrower off the tee. I think it's really cool. But the storyline for me has got to be Ivy Hill course design. I know a lot of people had ups and downs. It's not necessarily that it was bad, but I think the storyline is that it was talked about heavily before going into Worlds, which is not what you really want to exactly hear. Is a lot of focus on course design.
I'll piggyback off that too. I think Ivy Hill course design is the bigger storyline. Not only, it wouldn't be as big of a deal to me if it was just the Worlds course, but knowing that is going to be the Tour Championship course next year and likely moving forward, it's not going away. Unfortunately, like this is something that we're going to talk about, you know, for a good while, just because of, you know, that commitment already to using that course next year. Obviously, I think, you know, at every Worlds, there's somebody random that pops off, whether it be, you know, the Joey Buckets, the Luke Taylors of the world. You know, unfortunately, they just couldn't hang on the end, which is usually the case, but awesome for those guys to have that experience. But for me, the bigger deal is the Ivy Hill course design.
Is next year just Ivy Hill? Or Ivy Hill, and
we don't even know. We really don't know.
Yeah, it's unsure.
We don't know.
Okay,
it's unsure.
The one thing I will say is that, like, before the tournament, I was in the boat of stop complaining about 14. It is what it is. It's tough. Deal with it. And then I saw like Proctor spit out.
That was so bad.
And,
oh my goodness,
Niklas, like Proctor's was bad, but I felt so terrible for Niklas.
Yeah,
because that was such a good putt. Wasn't rewarded. And anyways, Isaac's almost even caught edge, and if it didn't hit that rock, could have rolled down the hill too. And he was just trying to do a simple layup. So he had a good suggestion, as in like leveling it off, like smoothing it off, and then putting some wood chips around it to kind of cushion the like the landing area. I think that's a totally good idea. So yeah, I would say idea. Well, you always have a better idea.
All right, so Ivy Hill course design it is.
I will say with that, like, once again, we've had this course run for a while. Literally, when we talked about this course, like, vaguely on one of our first episodes, I said, yeah, hole 14's weird because at the time it was covered in, like, this thick green, like, bright green plant that was like, I was like, you're going to get tripped up on that, like, low-laying stuff. I was like, they got to do something to fix that. And then I saw like everyone's practice rounds. I was like, how did you make it worse? How, like, at least the green stuff would have caught a frisbee, and now it's just dirt and rocks. And if
Oh
you hit
yeah,
a
I was
rock,
again. I was with my family this weekend. I was watching Worlds with my mom, and she was like, "Somebody's gonna fall and like break an ankle on this. Like this does not look
yeah,
safe."
that's what I said last year. That was actually more of my focus last year. Was like I was like, this doesn't really look that safe. Like, how are you gonna walk up there? And they did build stairs, but it's just I don't know. We had so long to think about it, so I think it's absolutely the course design.
All right, then the last first round matchup, we've got a stinker from Ganon and just the all-encompassing, Paul designed New London. This is Paul's world. It's going to be sick to, I think we're back to like, again, trying to match Rick with even, extending his streak of getting a win in every season. So Ganon's performance at Worlds versus Paul not winning anything.
See, what I find funny is that like Paul not winning at all this year would be a big storyline at the end of the season. Right now, it's got to be Ganon, stinker for Ganon because he was seen as the favorite going into this, so we thought.
Right.
And Ganon, burr, ice in his veins. Well, it doesn't look like that anymore. At least that happened at Worlds. I will say, one of the things that might have derailed him mentally and just being in the zone was hole 10. Hole 10? Yeah, hole 10 and New London round 1, where the guy literally fell over as he was putting. Corey's going to have a comment on that as well, I'm sure. And so all of a sudden he missed the basket, goes OB, and that's like a 3-stroke swing. He went from birding the hole to double bogeying the hole. So that could have been a big part early in his week. So for me, my vote is going to be Ganon Stinker. Go ahead, Corey.
So I don't care for either of these takes. But I'm going to
so
pick.
Matt, what you got?
But I'm going to pick. Will Paul win this season? For the mere fact that I think it is a very large conspiracy theory that UC told Ganon to throw it so that Isaac can come to Discmania.
I love that.
Interesting.
I actually
that would be
it.
a big
because
conspiracy.
even before the tournament, everyone's talking about how Ganon straight up said Isaac's winning this, and he did. And then UC was the first person to congratulate Isaac.
Is disc golf rigged?
It's not rigged.
Wait,
but
why would
it's
that
definitely
be
manipulated?
Why would that be good for UC? Because now they just have to pay more money to get Isaac.
Because it's not his money anymore. House of Discs.
They got a boatload of money. They can certainly.
They're selling $33 generals, bro. They got money.
If UC
they make you better at the game.
If UC in a meeting says, "Hey guys, give us more money and we can go get the 2 times Worlds guy," they're gonna say, "Okay, how much?"
And they'll also say, "By the way, once we do that, we'll own all the majors." Like literally, other than Fresno, that's the only one.
Yeah,
and
also the entire vlog squad again.
Yeah, I mean, he wants to be around that. I mean, if Isaac isn't going to Discmania next year, I mean,
like the face,
UC congratulated him on 18 and said something in his ear, and Isaac smirked at him. And then last night on Tour Light, they said, "Hey, what did UC say to you?" And he's like, "I don't know. We'll have to see in the future."
Sus.
Yeah, that's
how you were talking about how Ganon had that awkward smile after, like he hated that he didn't. That was the face of someone getting away with murder, which was, I just threw this tournament and you guys don't realize my best friend's coming to hang out with me now. So
what Corey's talking about, so any audio listeners or anyone who doesn't know, Isaac posted a picture on his Instagram of them going to dinner, the celebratory dinner afterwards, and Ganon's smiling, but it's this like smirk smile of like, I'm really not happy about this. You can totally tell, and so that's what Corey's alluding to.
And for those jokes and Matt being racist, join our Discord. It's a great time.
I'm racist in our Discord.
To get back on track,
chat. This guy started with a Korean comment.
How is that racist? That's not racist.
All right. I'm gonna say the bigger storyline again is the stinker from Ganon. Just because this isn't like the European Open last year where it was like Eagle and Paul battling, and then everybody else has kind of sucked. Like, you are the #1 player in the world. You are the vast favorite, and you were not relevant in the World Championships. That's a huge deal to me. I'm not concerned about the Paul thing because Paul's going to win USDGC by 6. So,
by the way, we have now played 2 Paul McBeth design courses this year on tour. So,
What was the other one?
His home course, Olympus,
Oh,
That is
dude, I
true.
totally forgot about that.
down the hill, baby.
Yeah.
So, all right, well, guess we're back up to the top. We're Isaac and Calvin.
Sorry, I'm typing in the chat.
I know you are. It's all
Join
right.
the chat.
I'm here to help a little bit.
Appreciate you. All right, so Isaac back-to-back versus Calvin. For me, it's Isaac back-to-back. Again, the list of 5 players that he has joined is very prestigious. Calvin sucks. It's okay. All right.
Hey, well, shout out to the 5 seed with upset and FPO and MPO.
Let's go.
Man. See, here's the thing. I feel like Eisen going back to back is the most subtle back to back that disc golf has ever seen.
True.
Majorless Calvin is just a continuous story. Yeah, I'm just gonna do it. I want to go Majorless Calvin. I don't care.
Let's go.
I like that storyline better personally. I have this like vendetta against like Isaac winning Worlds again. Like it just doesn't feel like he's like, yeah, he's a worthy champion.
And for that, I'm going Isaac.
Yeah, that's fine.
See, I was gonna go Isaac to add a little spice to it, and I could be either way now. But now me and Corey might get majority off that one, and I'll feel bad there. Taylor, you go ahead and pick first, man.
I already voted Isaac.
You already said Isaac.
I'm sorry, I was looking
So
at the
it's
chat.
two-
He said
This is
Isaac.
why you shouldn't be racist.
So true.
2-1 Isaac right now. Push it to Scott.
Barry Schultz, Ken Climo, Paul Macbeth, Ricky Wysocki.
Hey, it's a big deal, but like, is it
Isaac
bigger than
Robinson.
like the Calvin not winning a major? Like,
No,
again?
I think I have to go Isaac.
Yeah, you
Here's
have
my
to.
reasoning. Here's my reasoning. He's done like nothing all year long, and then just rolls back and just pops off. Just says,
makes
I
no
guess
sense.
I'll
Makes
carry
me
him out.
mad, honestly.
Yeah, but I think that's why it's a bigger storyline because it's like what is going on in this guy's head?
Brooks Koepka.
Brooks Koepka.
Listen, I'm a Brooks guy too. I know, I get it, but
And
I
you'll know
love
that every interview he
Brooks
straight up says,
Ghost,
I don't care
Gray
about
shoes.
anything except for the majors.
Isaac hasn't like said that though. That's why I like he's not in that mindset. Brooks saying like I show up to majors and that's all I want to do. I get that, but like Isaac is trying to win, and then only shows up the Worlds, and he's a completely different player. Just
Shout out to Scott agreeing with the Isaac take in the chat.
that's fine.
This
Totally
one,
fine.
so our last semifinal boils down to which was worse, the way Ivy Hill was designed or the way that Gannon played.
I
feel
think
like
what
this
was-
is
The way you worded that, I'm going to say Gannon. being
No,
a
which
stinker.
which is the bigger storyline? Which is the bigger deal in your mind?
The bigger storyline is Ivy Hills because everyone
Yeah.
wants the course to be changed for the better. But the way you worded it was like, what's worse, the course
No,
or
that's my
Gannon?
fault, it's my
And
fault.
Gannon played the course worse.
Yeah,
No,
I'm
I
gonna say
agree.
Ivy Hill course design.
I
Ivy Hill.
agree. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, it's Ivy.
I agree.
I think there's just certain things that dude, all they have to do is like let the grass grow for like a month.
they can't
All right, the matchup of the Titans this
Why?
year, 1 and 2.
because it's a golf course. See, they can't like they said that they golf course didn't let them make like growth changes or chop anything down at the course.
Then why are we going?
Because it's a golf course and it's pretty easy to
Listen,
put a
a
tent
lot of
up in.
people said that it's one of the most beautiful venues they've ever played at for Worlds. So
Yeah, the venue is very
take
nice.
that with a grain of salt too.
I'm going to give you guys my opinion on this matchup right here that we have of Isaac going back to back in the Ivy Hill course design. While I do think that the course design of Ivy Hill is a big deal, if they were playing with baskets in an open field at what was the World Championship, there would be pressure and the story would be written by the players and not where they are playing. So due to that, my vote is for Isaac putting on the performance he did. Honestly insane. Like I was like watching him play New London
It is
specifically
insane.
as
Wire to
well.
wire.
Like just the way the disc was coming out of his hand, like we were like idle before. I was like, oh, he may start yanking it again, may start having the late release. Every shot he threw was so pure. It was insane.
He was at freaking WR Jackson all over again.
Yeah. Yep, I thought I would not agree with Taylor, but I do, in fact. I think it's back-to-back in my head.
I'm gonna say something about the course. One more thing about the course. I heard a lot of players say the course design was bad, right? And that's what we have written: course design, not Ivy Hill course. Because I know a lot of people said it was really cool that there was a clubhouse that they all went into. There was just a players only lounge that players could be at. There was locker rooms. Like that part was really, really cool to them, which I think is cool. So it doesn't say course, it says course design. So thinking about the course, I think the biggest storyline, the thing that I heard before and after the tournament is course design. So that's where my vote is going.
Yeah, me too.
Oh my gosh, Scott's gotta be...
let's go. Scott gets to decide the final. That's so exciting.
All right, Scotty boy, what do you think it is?
This is sick.
This is unprecedented, bro. The chat vote. If you were in the chat right now as a live viewer, you could decide the outcome of our podcast. How exciting is that?
Scott.
Oh, but honestly, I think my idea for 14, obviously you said they're not allowed to do anything like cut into it. What? Course. Haha.
God says course.
Let's go.
Unbelievable.
But I think if you could make 2 small platform areas to where the basket is still on the hill, but to the right and the left, there was like a platform, almost like if there was like a tee box for golf, but just a small enough area to where you could land, but then you would still have to putt like at the basket, and it has the potential of rolling away, because I really like the roll away.
Proctor's was pretty bad.
Proctor's was bad.
You know,
but that was more the bad. That was just more a spit out. Like that was less.
Yeah,
the
that was
bad.
A bad
It was more
spit
that just
out.
the spit out was terrible.
But that pretty much proved that anything that hit the ground was gonna roll away.
Yeah,
at least that's what it felt like.
So putt better. Not on his was a freak accident, but I'm saying in general, putt better.
So there's our storylines for MPO. I think Isaac got robbed. That's okay. I'm so glad it came down to Scott, the chat. So if you disagree, put a comment down below, man. Let us know. Tell us we're all stupid. That's okay. You thought this podcast is already an hour. You thought you were getting out of here without buying and selling a game, but you're wrong, because we got buy and sell, and we got a game. So I'm going to get the game ready. I'm going to let the boys start with buy and sell.
I already alluded to this earlier. I am buying Isaac going to Discmania. It's happening. There needs to be a wager out there that I can bet on about where is Isaac
money
going
line
next
for
year.
Isaac. Which
is actually
would you
really
love to see as Isaac's signature like first tour series.
What an amazing
probably like the MD
Origin
MD3.
Yeah, I'd probably say the MD3.
You know,
he was throwing that beat up M1 all over the course. Is M1 their most stable? Which way does it go on Prodigy?
Yeah, M1 is more stable.
M1 is stable.
Yeah, he was throwing like a M1 or something like crazy all weekend at New London. I just kept it's like the same. It was a wash, rinse, repeat on Jomez of just putting up the flight numbers of a disc that clearly wasn't the disc that's flying.
What if Isaac goes and his first pro model is the Mutant?
Well, that's Alden's,
like the Splice.
Yeah.
They bring back the tilt.
Just for our boy Isaac.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so I'm buying Isaac to Discmania. I think they complete the family.
Mm-hmm.
I'm buying excitement on new holes at New London.
Okay.
Interesting. Speak to that.
Because
I stole mine, bro.
So,
oh wow,
did I really?
Yeah, that was what I was gonna say too.
Well, because they said all those holes suck on the back nine, anyways.
Well,
That's
it's
what
not
people
even
were
that they
saying.
suck. I just love going to a course and then finding out that it's going to be changed, and then being able to go to the new course and like compare it. So it's more or less, it's just we know what it looks like. We've seen New London a million times with Foundation. Go to Foundation and get your stuff.
With our affiliate link. Thanks.
Yeah, we've seen New London time and time again, and now we're going to be able to see a new version of New London. And even like Hunter was talking about on Griplocked, hole 1 might not be hole 1. So that might be like the
different.
middle chunk or something like that, or the end. Like I don't know, but I'm excited to see what they do with it.
Yeah, I'll pile on. I actually had it the other way. I had it as a sell, but I was gonna say I'm selling the negativity around that. Like, I hate that
same thing.
we're going to like everybody's like, oh, New London's going to change. And everyone's like, oh, this is like the worst thing ever. It can become a better course at the end of the day. And I think it is an agreement when you think about the holes they're losing that they're not like signature holes out there. So I think that we all need to be a little bit more positive, and it can be a great thing. Matthew, what you buying?
I forgot if we were on buy or sell, but as far as my buy, I had a couple different ones, and I'm stuck in the middle between them. I think I'm buying spectator experience. That's my big one on events. It seems like I had some buddies down there this weekend. Seems like there was so many cool little things to do. And it was interesting, like even just having food trucks and stuff at New London versus couldn't have them at Ivy Hill, like bouncing back and forth between those, like seeing those differences on the cool stuff to do. And just the way like Lynchburg had glow tournaments going like all the time after the main event. They had like workshops going, like the entire community embraced that for their own unique tournaments and stuff like that going on during Worlds to give like an amazing spectator experience. Like I said, the buddies I went, they got a tee time for Ivy Hill, like right before the tournament started. They got to play Ivy Hill. They turned around and played a glow tournament, raising money for the Isaiah 117 house. That's such a cool idea. It's like they really went for the whole week because there was enough stuff going on that they don't even have to watch the rounds and they can have a good time. So that's awesome.
Yeah.
Anybody got a sell they're fired up for?
I'm selling
Mine's quick and
whoever.
easy.
I'm selling whoever decided to take away the OB at New London.
Yeah.
Like, what the heck?
Changed it.
Most of the pros that were throwing like hole 1, 2, 3 weren't even going to the OB,
They all birdied it too.
but it would have changed the outcome. Well, I don't know about the entire outcome, but it would have changed a lot of people's scores.
Yep.
The ones that did hit the OB.
Mine's quick and easy too. I'm going to sell I just hate negativity, man. I'm selling people being so negative about Disc Golf Network all the time, man.
they
As an
still
old head
doing
in
that,
disc
man?
golf, like just be so happy that live disc golf is sick and you can watch live disc golf every weekend and it's awesome. Get a life.
Get him, Taylor. Mine's quick and easy. I am selling that Worlds is. I don't know how I'm going to do this, but this is how I thought about it. I'm selling the fact that Worlds is not the last major of the year.
Mm. Yeah.
And so we get Worlds and we all go, man, that was crazy. Oh, yeah, but we get USDGC with a ton of history coming up, and that's what we're really excited about. So, like, I immediately went, oh, yeah, we got USDGC coming up. That's pretty cool.
If you could
So-
decide, would you have Worlds before or after the Pro Tour Championship?
Before.
Okay.
Before two,
Why?
Because to me it feels like
If anybody could win Worlds and there were like 200 plus people playing in Worlds, what does it matter if it's after the Pro Tour Championship where it's only the best of the best?
I feel like for me, I think it's like too late in the year to where people are going to be just like too tired and not like getting to their peak is what I would be thinking about. So
Okay.
Yeah, it's hard because I do also like that Worlds moves around a bit, so you can
Yeah.
kind of test different skill sets. But yeah, it makes it hard to have like what Corey alluded to. Like Worlds just does not feel as important as it once did.
Like sometimes I'll look at the Pro Tour Championship and go, oh my God, this is basically the 5th major because it's the best of the best in the entire like season are playing with stakes, kind of, you know.
I'll take my sell. I am selling my own opinion from the beginning of the year. I think I said we made a big deal about the competition in like MPO and that you were going to have to lock in every round just to like to barely win. You had to be on for all 5 rounds. So I do agree with that, right? Like you have to be on, but like Isaac won by 4 here. Nicholas had an unfortunate thing, but I think at the beginning of the year I predicted like, hey, every winner will be within 1 stroke of the second place. And that hasn't, there's like multiple times this year already that's not been the case. So I'm kind of selling my own opinion from the beginning of the year, in which just the way I was expecting competition to be. It's certainly competitive, but just a little different than I thought.
I want to share one fun fact real quick.
I love that.
I just looked up the head-to-head stats and record of Isaac Robinson and Calvin Heimberg. Calvin Heimberg's record is 11-4 this year against Isaac. Calvin has 6 podiums, and Isaac has 1. And yet,
It's a dang good one.
yeah. And Calvin's got 80% top 10, and Isaac has 53% top 10. So
Crazy.
unbelievable how Calvin can be so dominant, so good all season long, but yet all that matters is that you win 1 week out of the year.
Yeah, that's crazy. With that, we are gonna move into the game. We've played this game before. I love this game. We're gonna look at the World Championship stats. I'm gonna tell you a stat, and you're gonna tell me who you think led in that stat for the tournament. I'll ask you this: do you guys want to compete against one another, or would you like to be on the same team? I'm gonna leave that up to you.
Let's compete against one another. So we gotta like
let's
send you a name maybe.
Yep. So I'm gonna tell you a stat, and you guys DM me on the Discord, where Matt is often racist, where who you think led that stat. I'm just gonna let this joke keep going, and we'll do it that way. You'll get a point if you get it right. If you don't, you suck. Hate to tell you. The first stat we are looking at is birdie percentage.
100.
Who had the highest birdie percentage at the World Championships?
Oh, we're sending it to you?
Yeah, hit me in the DMs, Pop.
Yeah, I probably should. I was about to blurt it out too.
By the way, just another fun fact real quick. Gannon was 13-3-1 versus Isaac this year.
That's insane.
Why am I blanking? Hold on.
Yeah,
Sorry,
I'm kind of
guys.
blanking too.
I'm gonna see what Ricky was this year. Ricky's was 11-3 versus Isaac.
Tough year for
I don't
Isaac.
think I'm.
Not at Worlds.
Yeah,
Dude.
I don't think that's the right answer, but
Put in a
I'm gonna
name
throw
here.
one
Let's
in.
go, boys.
I put in a name. So did Scott. Scott put a name
Yeah,
in
I
the
love that.
Discord, but just pinged the whole Discord. Scott, you could just respond in chat too. That'd be,
I like it. I
Actually,
said
just-
specifically hit me up in the Discord. So he's just following
wait,
instructions.
yeah, you're right. My bad.
And then there was
All
one.
right, I'm just gonna go with
His
that.
name's completely corny. Okay, so Scott hit us with an Ezra Robinson. We had 2 votes for Nicholas and then a vote for Sullivan Tipton, and everyone is wrong. It was Simon Lazat,
Wow.
led birdie rate. Just a
Good
few
for
too
him.
many bogeys.
That's crazy because you lost.
Yeah, that is crazy. I'm gonna combine the driving stats and the gain T to green, and we'll talk about gain C1X. So we'll do 4 total. But I also would like you to tell me who led this weekend, or for the World Championships in Circle 2 putting.
Oh man.
I'll give you a hint because this is a tough one that nobody's going to get anyway. This person was tied for 164th place.
Holy crap!
Is it a pro that we all know?
All right, hold on. They didn't make the cut, and it was 3 for 4. Okay, we got to go with somebody else. Actually, this is at least a person you'll know. Tied for 23rd. I'll give you the place. You just got to tell me who it is.
We'll disregard that one then.
I feel like that's a good guess either way. Christopher Robbins was in 164th place, was 75%
Christopher
from
Robbins.
Like
Circle
the
T.
guy from Winnie the Pooh?
Yep. That guy, if he gets really good at disc golf, has a great opportunity for the sickest stamps, man.
Dude, for sure.
I don't know.
I mean, he's got to get out of 100th place, but there's potential.
Yeah.
All right, so we had some good guesses, I feel like. Kevin Jones, Simon Lizotte, and James Proctor. Well, the answer we were looking for was Jakub Semerad.
I thought him for like a second.
Putted 65% from C2, 24 of 37.
That's crazy.
With an average, had the highest average putt length as well of 22 feet.
I saw him hit some bangers in coverage, but like his putt is so weird.
He was absolutely banging them. All right,
Good for him.
we are moving on to who led the field in strokes gained tee to green at the World Championship. Shout out the Silas Schultz guess as well from Scott.
Tee to green.
So that is really just a combination of the driving stats.
Hmm.
All right, so we have guesses of Luke Taylor, Gannon, and Eagle. Once again, we're going over here. As we like to say, driving really tells you who's going to win a tournament, and it was Isaac Robinson won. He gained 23.76 strokes tee to green, which is a big number.
Yeah, I typed out Isaac's name, and then I was like, certainly not. And then I deleted it and put Luke Taylor.
Are you doing strokes gained putting?
That is the next one. Yes, strokes gained C1X.
I was gonna say something that was gonna give it away. All right.
Is our last category here that we're gonna take a look at. Actually, I might scroll through and find some more. Oh, I could just do gain putting, huh? You guys want to do C1X or putting?
Gain putting.
We'll do both. Fork it. We got nothing to lose. Who gained the most strokes C1X, bro?
Sticking with my answer.
All right, so Tyler and Scott got it right. Shout out to them. It was Eagle McMahon had the most strokes gained in C1X at 6.85. Really solid.
Wait, that's what I
putting.
said. I got. Oh, they must have came in backwards.
Oh, so Corey got the last two right, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, good job, Corey.
Thanks.
Oh, really?
No, I said them backwards.
I was gonna say, get out of here.
Yeah, but 96% C1X for Eagle McMahon.
Yeah, I was gonna say. I think he only missed
55
like
out of
2 putts.
57. That is
Yeah.
wild.
Yeah, he missed 2 putts. I heard about that.
Let me see who else up here that had a bunch. Oh, Matt Bell up there as well at 98% for people that had a lot of opportunities. We'll
Putting
also,
work, yeah.
just for funsies, we'll go next into gained putting total. This may be an easy answer based on what we've already covered.
Can I get what we just covered that I missed?
Absolutely
Oh
not.
my gosh.
Wait, who gained the most C1X though?
Eagle.
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 Gained
Dang.
6 strokes. Almost 7. But yeah, putted 96% on 57 opportunities. Pretty wild.
I mean, it could be Jakub though. I mean, 60-something% from Circle 2 is crazy.
My audio just randomly failed. Luckily, I had a backup, but I missed the most important part of that conversation.
Oh, great guess from Completely Corn Dog. Waiting for Scott's answer here, and then we'll reveal. Yeah, so it turns out when you make what was it? When you make 24 circle 2 putts, that that
Yaku,
pushes you
I
up
know
in
it.
strokes gained putting. Yeah, he gained almost 15
Yeah.
strokes putting. We'll go one more since we're down here. Who actually this might be hard, I thought. Of people that actually made the cut.
Jeremy Colling.
Yeah, Jeremy Colling. That's a great answer. Never mind. That was going to be hard to find somebody. That's it. That's all we got. Eagle had a great putting performance. Does anybody know what Eagle putts with now, by the way?
Anodes.
Yeah.
No, nomads.
Those words are
Nomads.
close to each other.
I'm pretty
Either
sure
way,
it's a nomad.
whether it's
Oh,
an
no, you're
anode
right. It's
or a
nomads. It's
nomad,
nomad.
you should go pick one up at foundationdisc.com using our affiliate link. Thanks so much to them for helping put this podcast together and giving us the link. Use it, and we'll go to Charlotte again, and it'll be a lot of fun. Thank you guys for watching this episode. I had a lot of fun doing something a little bit different with the tournament bracket, and as always, just fun playing some games with the boys. We're out here Wednesday nights, 8:45 Eastern. Check us out on Apple Music or Spotify or live here on the YouTube. But with that, we'll see you all next week.
Peace.
Okay, bye.